So we've seen how to deploy custom handlers to an IIS6 installation, or the equivalent of it. I use the uh, backwards compatible pipeline for that. What I want to do now is show you how to do it directly in IIS7. So if you're going to use the integrated pipeline in IIS7, there's no need anymore to create an association between your custom extension and the ASP.NET ISAPI DLL. That was really only there for IIS6 and earlier. Now that IIS7 understands ASP.NET classes natively, all you have to do is register your custom HTTP handler with an extension in IIS7, and you're done. You don't have to go through this multiple step process to actually do the deployment. Now, the place you're going to do this is inside a different section of the config file. It's called system.webserver, and this is reserved for IIS7 configuration. And it also contains lists of modules and handlers. And these are the exact same modules and handlers we were looking at before. They're .NET classes that implement IHTTP module and IHTTP handler. They also use this same section to install native modules as well and native handlers. So it works with both, and IIS lets you throw in whatever you want to, and they all get treated as the same collection. So you could type this in by hand, but it's much more likely you'll just end up using the Internet Information Services Manager to configure it. So let's go ahead and try doing that. I'm going to go back to IIS, and let me just delete the existing application and add it back in again so we can get it all configured properly. And I can show you from the beginning. So we're going to add an application, call it pipeline demos like we did before. And this time I'm not going to change the default application pool. I'm going to leave it at the default pool, which means it's going to be using the integrated pipeline. And I'm going to set the path equal to cwac demos, wac pipeline demos. And what we now need to do is go in and configure the handler mappings. So just like you would have configured a script map entry in IIS6 or earlier, we configure a handler mapping in IIS7. And we're going to add a managed handler mapping so that we can map CSV requests onto our custom class. So the request class is going to be data.csv, just like it was before, and the type is going to be ps.csvhandler, which is the type of our custom class. And let's just call this custom CSV handler. And that should create the association between the two. And just to verify it's working, let's try running it now. And go ahead and click on Get Data, and notice we get prompted to bring up the Excel data. So that works fine. And we didn't have to create the intermediate association with ASP.NET ISAPI. Now, to see what that looks like, you can go back to your project and open the configuration file. And one thing to note about IIS7 is if you're not running in the non-integrated pipeline, it will ignore the handlers and modules section that is under your system.web element. So you'll notice in ASP.NET more recent projects that they actually inject a web server section down below with the same collection of handlers and modules that were defined up above for the previous versions of IIS. And here's the line that was added for the custom CSV handler that we just used the interface to put in there. So you can very easily see exactly what it adds for you and where that goes in your configuration file. So that's all that's needed to set up a custom HTTP handler inside of IIS7 when you're using the integrated pipeline mode. There's no need to go set up any additional configuration.